What's up, Dad?
What's up, man?
Can I get some mango juice?
No, drink some water. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. Hey, 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 hey. Oh, that's not. Oh, there we go. Hey, hey, y'all. Y'all can share this live. Hey, Jasmine. Hanging tight. Just waiting for Jamal to come on. Hey, 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 hey. Y'all can share this live. That would be great. Share the live, share the live. Oh, man. Hey, hey. Yo, John.
Yeah, she did.
Yo, John.
Yo, 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 yo. What's good? What's good, people? What's happening? All right, all right, all right. Had some of these folks come on in, start filling in here. As y'all can see, you know what I mean? I'm rocking my MXL merch. This is a classic. It's like a throwback. MXL stands for maximum level. You know what I mean? We work hard. My wife and I have a barbershop and beauty salon in West Philly. And not only do we do hair and barbering, but we also have a nail tech. So we have nail tech on deck as well. That's 5001 Westminster Avenue, right? Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. All right, now that we put a little plug out there, listen, as we fill it in, as people are coming in, today's topic is healthy, long-lasting relationships. You know what I mean? So we're going to be talking about some of the keys to having a healthy, long-lasting relationship. You know, it's going to be different for different people, you know, and then it's also going to be some conversation that we're going to need to have as to what can damage a relationship. You know what I mean? What are some things to stay away from, you know, because that's very important. You know, a lot of times we just grow up in our households and we learn different behaviors from relationships at home, and even relationships from friends, and even on TV. But what's the best relationship? What's the best thing for the relationship that you have with your partner? You know what I mean? What's going to be helpful and healthy to that? That's what we're going to be talking about today. But for anybody that is new, you know what I mean, to joining us or to our conversation, relationship topics, my name is Jamal.
Phone breaking up.
You supposed to all right, it's going on.
Your phone. Your phone was breaking up.
All right, what we looking like now? We good? All right,
Yeah.
so for anybody that's new to our lives, my name is Jamal. My wife's name is, and we are a work in
Sheree.
progress. A married couple for over 12 years, and we got ourselves together and on track around the time of COVID, but it's still a rocky road. It's a journey. So, you know, in the process of our journey, we just use our life as a therapy to just share, you know what I mean, jewels, to gain jewels from other people that's in relationships, you know what I mean, and just to have some adult conversation. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. The topic is healthy, long-lasting relationships. So, Cherie, what do you have in mind when you know, hear of the topic that we have for today of healthy, long-lasting relationships?
Um. I mean, healthy, long-lasting relationships can be a lot of different things. It depends on I wouldn't necessarily say how you was raised, because everybody wasn't raised in a household where they had a mother, a father, married for ever, and I don't have those type of role models. My mother and father, they were married, but they were only married until I was about 13. And then after that they separated and got a divorce. But for me, my definition of a long lasting relationship is communication, understanding, listening, trusting. um I feel like that should be on both parties, both sides. If the person, if that person doesn't love you as much as you love them, then I don't know. I think you definitely have to love one another. Um, Try to anyway, the same. But communication is definitely a big thing to have a long lasting relationship. You always have to talk about how you feel, eat, or just have conversations in general. Um, it's always going to be uncomfortable conversations that you have to have. Some people don't like having those. Some people like to avoid them, sweep them under the rug, and that's what causes more problems in the future of their relationship. So, in order to have a long-lasting relationship, um, I feel like you definitely should be able to express how you feel at all times, even when it's
All right,
uncomfortable.
yeah,
What you mean? I don't think that's true. What's not true?
yeah. So we had somebody in the comments that said, "Listen, I don't believe that's true." So let's get into it. What part did you feel like wasn't true? That's A. B. The rules on here, it ain't too many rules, but one of the things we want to do is always be able to, you know, have dialogue based on what your questions or concerns. So if it's questions or concerns, make sure you hit that question comment box, or that bubble right there, and that way it can go on the screen and we can see everything. But sometimes when we rolling and there's a lot of comments, we won't even get to your comments like that. All right, so um the
She said, I don't think one loves more
mm,
than the other. Sometimes it do. Some people do. You may not. I mean, it may be some people don't, but I feel like, you should, it shouldn't be nobody loving one another more than the other. I think one partner loves the other partner more than the other. I'm thinking that's what she was trying to say. From what aspect though? A man? You think women love their men more
you don't
than
gotta turn
men
into a
love their
gender
women?
thing. She
Are
she
you
ain't even
saying?
saying that. It don't
We
matter.
gotta
She's
be.
not
She
trying to
a
say it's a
female.
gender.
What does she
I don't
mean?
see nothing about that that's saying it's a gender thing. She said, I think one partner loves the other more
I'm
than.
not saying that. I'm asking. I'm not saying that that's what she's saying. I'm asking. Is that
I
what she
mean,
means?
I think we both seen guys that's in love with a female and the female not really feeling them that time. And I think we've seen females, you know what I'm saying, that's in love with men. And, you know what I'm saying, yeah, you got to
You gotta send
send
the
a
request.
request.
Hit the little camera thing at the
But I
bottom.
think we
You
saw
gotta
that
send the
on, I think
request.
we see that on both times. I mean, personally, I'm thinking that, you know, I don't, you know what, let's see what she say when she come on, because I don't want to steal her shine, because I got, you know, my take on just like what you were saying, you know what I mean, just to add to it. Yo, Buff, what's good, bro? Vain as can be, join just me, 922. The topic today for every
Sabria, you gotta hit the
the
little
topic
camera plus
today for
sign to
those that are
request.
coming in, freshly coming in, is healthy, long-lasting relationships. And we just getting to the point where we have one of our people that was in the comments that had something to say. So she's about to request so she can come on here. And Cherie was just talking about how love should be 50-50. So do y'all believe that? Do y'all believe in a relationship that the love should be 50-50 if you want a long-standing relationship? And so somebody commented they don't think that's true, that love is 50-50. And so hopefully once she hits this request, there we go, she can come on
Okay, I
and
was
state
trying to
how she
cook
feels.
at the same time. So I was saying, like,
Okay.
Okay.
basically that I think that it's not one way or the other, but I do think that one partner always loves more than the other. So, like, a man can love a girl more than she love him, or a girl can love a man more than she love him. I don't think that. I'm gonna say 80% of the time. I'm gonna say 50. I'm gonna stick my neck out there and say 50. I don't think people love the same, like on the same caliber. You get what I'm trying to say? Because I feel like when y'all start to drift, or like something is wrong or whatever, the person that's more in love, I guess if that's the correct terminology, they're gonna fight a little more. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And the person that's like, yeah,
Right.
well, I don't really care if he leaves or not. It's like, you know. So I feel like different stages of your relationship,
Right.
you be in love, like you still got love for the person, but you're not in love, and that's two different things. Like you can love somebody and not be in love with them. You know what I mean? Or you can tolerate somebody and still not be in love with them.
Somebody said my mother always. Somebody said my mother always told me to marry a man who loves you more than you love him.
But
Like,
you know,
I think my husband loved me more than I love him.
And for me, I feel like it's the opposite. I feel like I love my husband more than he loves me.
And you know what? I think too is what we look at as love is different too. You know what I'm saying? So you might, you know, somebody might feel that love is somebody that, you know what I mean, treats them a certain way, and somebody else might feel like love is somebody, you know what I mean, taking care of somebody a certain way, or just, you know, hold certain things. And I think people's definition of love, you know, is different too. But that's another conversation. I want to dig into this a little bit more in terms of the percentage, like 50-50, if, you know, both people supposed to love each other the same amount. But it's interesting. I was just talking to somebody, and they said he was saying to me, he was like, I told my daughter, I don't know where I got this from, but he was like, I told my daughter not to go for the guys that everybody likes.
Right.
And he said go for the guys that you can control. You know what I mean? Because the guys that everybody likes, you always going to be an option. You know what I mean? And that's kind of interesting, you know what I'm saying? Because it's and it kind of makes sense too. Sometimes we might go for somebody that everybody else wants, and you're loving that person to death, but you know what I mean, they're not going to give you the same love in return. So that, I thought that was interesting. You know what I mean? But I'm sorry, that was just an aside. But back on the percentage, I think that within a relationship, the percentage changes. I think it's sometimes where one person is going to be fighting for, you know what I mean, for the relationship, when somebody else feels like they're at their wits end. And then it's going to be times where the other person is going to be, you know, fighting hard for the relationship to stay together, and the other person might be at their wits' end. But the problem comes in when both people is at their wits' end, and both of them is not fighting. And I think that's where, you know what I mean, a relationship or marriage can really turn for the worst, is when like both people at the same time just got like, it's just like, you know what I mean, they spit.
And I think, I'm sorry to cut you off, I think that's when the disrespect comes. I think that's when the disrespect comes, because like once y'all both giving up, but y'all might still live in the same house, or y'all still you know, intimate every once in a while, but like for the sake of, I don't know, a kid or something. Y'all 1 foot in, 1 foot out, but y'all still both sneaking around, like sneaking around. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's when the disrespect starts. You know, like when y'all both it's like, yeah, I'm done, but y'all still laying in the same bed. It's kind of like you gotta grow up and have that uncomfortable conversation, like you said. And everybody don't like having uncomfortable conversations, even as kids. So I even try to teach my kids, like, even if you feel some type of way about me, your mom, it's okay that you have an uncomfortable conversation with me, you know? So I think if we start early with teaching our kids about having uncomfortable conversations, when you grow into an adult, it'll be easier to have an uncomfortable conversation with your spouse.
That's a great point.
Yeah,
that's a great point. And the other
I'm
thing
like
too,
Mother Love over this joint. Sorry.
no, I'm feeling you. You got a couple of joints. You got a couple little joints. You know what I mean?
Mother Love.
But that's what I was gonna say too. I've been in a relationship before where, you know what I mean, and it speaks to what you're saying. You physically there, but it's like you not spiritually there. You're not. You know what I mean? Like the love is gone, and you know you might still have to be there because it might just be, you know, because you can't afford nothing else at the time. You know what I'm saying? And y'all, you know, split the bills or whatever the case may be, and you just gotta be there. Bust what up. You know what I mean? But in terms of the love, like the love is and I'll say it like this: sometimes it can be the like is gone. The love might still be there. I love you. You know, I want what's best for you. I don't want to, you know, wish no harm on you. But I don't like you anymore. And I think, you know what I'm saying, that's when, you know, disrespect can definitely come in. But like you said, in terms of uncomfortable conversation, you know what I mean, the communication definitely is very important. You know what I mean? It's very important because, you know, you could be getting disrespected because the communication is not there. Like it can go from a relationship to roommates and you not even know it if there's not any communication going on. You know what I mean? But how you feel about it, Sherry?
Let me see if my husband on this live, because I want to say something, just in case.
Oh shit.
He might not be.
Because I think he probably not, but I don't know. I'm still cooking, but I think that I was about to say something. You said something. I was about to say something. Dang, it's gonna come back.
Come on, mother love.
I'm not gonna breaking up. Hey, what I was about to say?
Well, I'll say this. One of the things in terms of like on a relationship side of things, you know what I mean? It's so complicated. The reality for me, like when this question came up, I'm like, I mean, even though, you know, we do have time and we got 12 years and, you know, 12 plus years in rather, you know what I'm saying, in a relationship, but I still, you know, don't feel qualified to really give ultimate game on what to do to stay together because it's like every day is a battle, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like for us to, you know, fight for what we have, you know what I'm saying? So it's a challenge. I don't want to sit here from a standpoint like that I have the recipe, you know, for a long lasting relationship. You know what I mean? I'm not qualified to do that. You know what I'm saying? And I think everybody's situation is different. But here's something that came up to me, right? This is very interesting, you know, and it's gonna probably be different for everybody. But like, when is it time to go? You know what I mean? Like, is like if you're in a marriage, you know what I mean, and it's supposed to be till death do us part. But is there ever a time, you know what I mean, or when is the time, or if there ever is a time that, you know what I mean, it's just like, you know what, I have to be done with this. You know what I'm saying? I know about death do us part and all of that, but this is just, you know what I mean, it's just
Toxic.
beyond that point. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I think when it's like too disrespectful, because I feel like when you and your spouse or like you and your friends or whatever go through something, I feel like that's just a lesson that that was brought forth in front of you, and I feel like how you get back from the situation is what brings y'all closer.
Mm.
And I think that some people are so like I just had this conversation with my friend like we so quick to forgive men, but we aren't quick to forgive our friends. You know what I'm saying? And that goes like a long way. So when is it time to give up? When it start affecting your attitude and your relationship with like other people. So like for me, when I was in a toxic relationship before I had got married, I was in a toxic relationship and I was unhappy, but I was trickling that down on my kids. You know what I'm saying? So like I was being like short and snappy and you know what I mean? So I had to do a reality check on myself, like, nah, this ain't really me, so it was hard to cut ties, but once again, you got to do stuff that's uncomfortable to better yourself, you know?
Yeah.
So when it start messing with your health or your mental, because some people go, I have someone that I know went like mental
Crazy.
302, you know what I mean, off a relationship. And, mental illness is a thing.
Yeah.
So some people get so sick from these relationships, these toxic relationships, and they just don't know when to give up. But it's just weird that we are so quick to forgive like the opposite sex, but we aren't as quick to forgive our friends. You know what I mean?
But you know what's funny though? The crazy part about it is in all reality, it's a lot of marriages, you know what I mean, that went through hell. And for some people they might have said, you know what, that's the line crosser, I'm done. And I've seen relationships, you know what I'm saying, that went through hell. And like you said earlier, it's like you go through something, but it makes you stronger on the other end when you come outside of that tunnel. You know what I mean? And I know relationships now where it's like they stayed, even though it was like super hella toxic shit, but they got beyond it. And now they just in such a place of growth with their relationship. And then I've seen people that didn't go for it and was like, you know what? It was getting toxic. It was like this, that, and third. And I have a friend of mine, and you know what I mean, we worked together, and she was like, you know what, Ma? At the time, because it was like we worked together so long that I saw the process of the marriage. You know what I mean? I saw the process of the kids, and then I saw the process of like them getting on the outs and end up divorcing, and they end up divorcing, and we rapped about it. And she said, more honestly, in all honesty, I wish I wouldn't have did it. She was like, I wish I would have really rocked out and pushed through, because you know what I'm saying, like I'm literally living with regrets. So that's why I'm like, it's kind of odd, because some of that toxic stuff is literally just a test, to see how solid y'all is, and to see if y'all can just some way fight through and work through and get to the other side. You know what I mean? And some of it is just it's hard to really identify what it is. All I'm trying to say, like, it's hard to identify when it's time to let go and when it's time to just buckle down and follow it through. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you know what I mean?
Even with my husband now, we kind of like went through something that like our first year, and that was like I felt like that was like the hardest year. And learning each other. Like we Muslim, so we like got married, consummated, had a baby. Everything happened like super, 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 super duper, 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 duper quick. So we didn't really get a chance to learn each other. We trying to learn each other. It was just like a lot, but it's like, who are you not to go through nothing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I had to like, buckle down and get it together. That's all you gotta really do. But once again, you gotta be in a mindset for that. You gotta want certain things and want better, or want certain things. You can't like still want to be out here in these streets, but still want a wife. You gotta be all in for with this marriage stuff. You can't like be half in, half out.
Yeah, it's funny. Here you go, Scott. It's funny because you know what I mean, our situations was similar to that, and when it comes to trials and tribulations and everything, we done been through, like, you know what I'm saying, some major shit, you know, and sometimes like when we in that, like a good space, I'll sit back and I'm like, damn, like I'm so glad that we decided to fight for this joint. You know what I'm saying? Because we was there. You know what I mean? We was there. You know, we was at our wits' end. We was, you know what I'm saying, had every right to, you know what I'm saying, get a divorce or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Some people might have got that, but I feel like, you know, like getting past that, it showed me, you know, a lot about her, and you know what I'm saying, I'm sure it showed her a lot about me, you know, because we got married after a year, you know what I mean? So similar to like you were saying, you know what I mean, everything happened like this. When we was you know what I'm saying, getting married, she was already pregnant. You know what I'm saying? This is, you know, we a year in. So we literally, like you said,
We was
who's that?
not a year in. We didn't even.
Yeah,
It
that's what
was all within a year.
I
It
mean. I
was.
ain't
We
gonna get
wasn't a
down to no
year in.
months and days and all that, but you know, it's basically a year.
It all happened like
Yeah.
within a year span. Like not even like no
Yeah. So I
time
mean,
before
we
that.
was learning
Basically,
each other, and then, you know, she's fresh off of being single. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm coming out of a relationship. Hey, chill, Scott. Those of y'all sick. You know what I mean? I'm coming out of a relationship. She's you know, single. You know what I mean, or whatever like that. And I had our whole worlds collide. And I'm really just like, we didn't know each other from growing up or childhood or in school together, nothing like that. So I literally had to, like, we took years to really kind of learn each other. That shit is wild. Like,
Right.
and then when she was pregnant, you know what I mean? You know, that was a whole nother thing. You know what I'm saying? In terms of, you know, me being used to us courting, me being used to us, you know, just her and I doing what we do. And like that changed like that. You know what I mean? So it was a lot going on, you know.
Right. Oh, this is my question. So how do y'all continue to court? Because
What?
even though like now we are in a better space, I still, and I don't be wanting to sound like ungrateful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying my
Are you
words,
smiling all hard?
but who Sheree?
Yeah. As soon as
But
you say, I don't want to sound ungrateful, but
no, seriously, it's crazy because me and Sheree be talking, but we never talked about like relationship stuff. That's like, but I don't want to seem like ungrateful, but I be feeling ungrateful when I say it. That is no like romance, like financially. A1, day one, A1. I could quit my job today, tomorrow, and I make a couple bucks. You know what I mean? But it's no romance. And when I say it, he like, but I do. And I was like, yeah, you could go buy me $100,000 car, but I don't really care.
what?
You can go buy me a $10 car. Like, you
No,
get what
no,
I'm saying,
no, no,
Sheree?
no, 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 no.
It's
Mm-mm.
like, all right, for instance,
No,
no, let me break it down because listen,
please.
it's like the little things. So like, I used to be happy.
I'm the
I
little.
used to be
Don't kill
happy.
me with that.
No,
Don't
listen,
kill
because
me with
people,
that. Because if it
listen.
was a bunch of
You
little
know how?
things, then you be wanting the big thing. Like,
No,
come on,
listen,
man. Like,
listen. Can
Jamal,
I
I
talk?
know it's
let her
good.
Me,
Go
talk.
ahead.
you can't
Yes.
hear what I'm saying if we both talking.
Exactly.
So what I was saying was like a bunch of little things. Now birthdays, anniversaries, cool, big things. But like
Okay.
before, it was like he know I like M&M peanuts, something as small as that, or sweet as fish. I'm fat, so little things. Like come in the house, babe. I got your favorite. Like, oh look what I got for you. Like you went in the store and you thought about me.
Blackie
Like
Chad, tune in.
so, but
Go ahead,
now
I'm
it's
listening.
just like I just brought you $500 flowers. Why do I got to keep buying you flowers? It's like because I still want to be courted a little bit, like because you were the forever roses ain't last
Right.
forever.
Cause that's what. Cause I understand what you're saying. I understand exactly what you're saying because I feel like too. That's how relationships stay healthy and consistent and last long too. Because we lose that whole. You feeling like you don't gotta buy flowers no more. You feeling like you don't gotta wine and dine no more. Like that's how you get it back. That's how it. It always stay fresh. It always stay just alive because you getting those flowers or you getting that back rub or you getting, all the things that you used to do when it's a
Right.
new relationship. You know what I mean? When you in a new relationship, you don't even gotta say nothing.
Right.
It just happens. You know what I'm saying? But as time go on in the relationship, you know, people feel like, oh, you know, they just fall into this, like, I don't even know, like, to make them feel like they don't have to do certain things anymore. But you do have to still do those type of things.
And I still do things. I still do things for him because, like, he worked for the last 2 years straight, 6 days a week, and he wanted to take a layoff. Like, babe, we cool financially. I want to take a layoff, but Sharina, like, I'm in the process of getting my building. It's costing an arm and a leg,
Right.
And he, like, after a month being off, he said, babe, I'm gonna make it work. Like you spending it like I'm going outside on the trees. So what I did to show my appreciation, because I still do, because it's not a one-way street, it's a two-way street. Because if Cherie ain't make you feel a certain type of way, you wouldn't want to be there, correct? So
no, that's
I
not
went
true.
out and I bought a card and I, like, bought a little gift and wrote a nice thing in the card, like I appreciate you, da 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 da. But in the flip side, I'm out here gourmeting it every day, running kids back and forth to soccer, football, like swim lessons. And it's like, oh, you supposed to do that because you're the mom. And it's like, no. You get what I'm saying?
This right. How I feel about that. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to make sure you got everything out. You know what I mean? Listen. Listen, I just wanted to make sure you got everything out. You know what I'm saying? But what I'll say is, again, that is a part of communication. You know what I'm saying? You and your husband having communication about that. But you know what I mean? A lot of times we are doing things out of love, you know what I mean? And the role does, you know what I'm saying, does change. When we first started out recording each other, again, with Sheree and I, it was just Sheree and I. So, we was doing things back and forth, trips, this, that, and the third, all kind, we still do trips, but, all kind of little different things. When we do have children now, you know what I'm saying, we building a legacy, you know what I'm saying? So those things aren't going to come as often as they were, because now, you know what I'm saying, for me, I get a joy out of seeing, you know what I'm saying, or like my wife telling me after I've been working all day that she just came back from the beach with the kids. Like, that's romantic to me, you know what I mean, to a certain degree. Like, that's a turn on to me, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm looking at not only just, you know what I'm saying, us, I'm looking at, our legacy. Like, a part of the reason why we together, we got a business. Our family is our business, and to see our children blossom is a part of, you know what I mean, me being turned on by my wife, honestly, when she's cooking, like little things like that. So, I mean, I don't know, you know what I mean? I can't really say that I'm not saying that you're wrong or anything, because y'all definitely still need y'all quality one-on-one time. Like, Sheree and I, we trying to, start doing like on Wednesdays, we got a little time off. We do a little walk or whatever like that. You know what I mean? We try and get that together. She crossing her eyes. That's something else. But anyway, just our little one-on-one walk and talk. You know what I mean? She can update me on what's going on. I can update her what's going on. We can chop it up, laugh. You know what I mean? Woo woo. So, I agree with you in a sense. But then it's like, you know what I mean? Still always look for things to be appreciative of. Y'all got you know what I mean, a beautiful situation in terms of y'all finances. You know what I mean? You buying a building. All these things should be such a turn on, like, in terms of holistically, like, where your community, the direction your community is going in. Not just, you know what I mean, you personally, but like, look at what all we accomplishing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, right. I think that's beauty, and that's, a turn on in itself. If your man works 6 days, you know what I'm saying, out the week, you know what I'm saying, and he came in the house and everything is on or whatever, or you even in position to to make sure he got a layoff and all that shit is attractive, man. Like, those are the things we should be like making du'as and making prayers for, to just thank Allah for, and be thankful. Like, that right there is a form of intimacy, you know what I'm saying, security, you know what I mean, and having somebody that is loyal and invested into you and your family. So I think we gotta
think alike, because he said the same thing. My husband said the same thing. But it's like, I mean? So how do you compromise? I guess that'll be the next question. How do you compromise between the two?
Yeah, and that's the communication. Like I said, with the walking, you know what I mean, situation, you know, us getting the opportunity to do that, it's always communication, you know what I'm saying? Because y'all teammates at the end of the day. It's a team, you know what I mean? And what your husband is saying is so true and sincere, you know, to how he feels. And you have to respect that. Boom, this, you know, that's a turn on for him. When he can just chill and, you know what I mean, and sit back a little bit, and I can take the wheel. He can go on the passenger side, put his seatbelt on, lay back and get some sleep. You know what I'm saying? And I could take over on the rest of the trip, you know what I'm saying, and let him get a little energy. He got back in the driver's seat. So I think we have to redefine what courting is. I think we need to redefine, you know what I'm saying, what romance is. Because once you take your relationship to another level, romance takes on a different dynamic now. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when y'all listen, it should be a turn on when you cut that ribbon, you know what I'm saying, on that new building. After everything y'all going through to get to that, like those are things that, you know what I'm saying, as we, you know, mature, are things that, you know what I mean, that give us that same feeling as those roses, so to speak. Because that building is a hell of a bouquet. When you know what I'm saying, when you get them keys, that's a hell of a bouquet. So I think, you know, communication again, but then changing how we look at things, because sometimes it can come off as, even though I don't think y'all necessarily being unappreciative, you know what I mean, but it can come off as that, because it's like, you know, y'all working hard, we working hard, you know what I mean, you do everything in your day, then you put a meal on the table, and I'm like, damn, you ain't got no baked potatoes, you know what I'm saying, you like, nigga, you know what I mean,
But that does happen. Some people can any and everything under the sun in their relationship, and they still not. Sometimes it's still not enough. But that it's not enough because the love part, like, yeah, when we met each other, we was working hard, we was grinding, you know, we were doing all of these different things. Okay, now kids come into the equation. Only thing different is the kids. You shouldn't lose that love or that time that you spent with somebody. You just got to adjust it a little bit, you know, just to keep it going. And I feel like that's what we lose. So for me, I feel like the reason why a lot of relationships get lost is because now it's like, okay, well, I'm cooking and cleaning and you working hard. Okay, and where's the time at? We not spending we not robots. We still human. We still have feelings. We still have emotions. We still want to be loved. We still want to be held. We want all of that. So it's like everybody gets caught up into, because you going out working 6 or 7 days a week and that's supposed to be enough. It's not enough.
Well, I say this.
That's just not realistic.
Listen, I'm still agreeing with y'all, but I'm saying too, is like, you know, when you in a position where you looking at things and you're appreciative, you can find so much to be thankful for within your relationship, because you could have been a year ago, you know what I'm saying, let's just say, you know, living in a car, I don't know, you know what I'm saying, and then this year, you know what I mean, you got you in the efficiency. You know what I mean? Now somebody could be like, well, damn, you know what I mean, your efficiency need furniture. But it's something in you that's gonna be like, yo, I'm thankful for my efficiency, because last year I was in a car. So I think that we can always find things to, you know what I mean, to criticize our situation about, but we can always find things to be thankful for in our situation. And I think that's the position that we have to take, because relationships, they do go in different phases. So initially, you know what I mean, when it's just y'all two, the courting phase is heavy metal, 100%, you know. And then once y'all really get invested, now we're working together on a different, you know what I mean, on a different goal. You know what I mean? We accomplished the first goal, which was to lock in. And now that we locked in, now what? Is it just to, you know what I mean, continue to court each other? Or is it to accomplish something greater than just us two?
You want to accomplish something greater, but you're supposed to go back to the drawing board. Okay, no, we're not going to spend time together every single day like we used to. But now, okay, we're going to make it a priority to say, okay, on Friday, it's date night. I don't care what's going on. I don't care what you got going on. I don't care. Like, that doesn't mean it's supposed to stop. It's not supposed to stop. You just have to figure out a different game plan. That's the problem. People be thinking like, okay, you know, you being unappreciative because I'm working hard or I'm doing this and I'm doing that. No, the problem is that you got two people who are not communicating and saying, okay, listen, we can't spend time like we used to, but let's just both agree and say on this day, this is our day. Regardless of what's going on, what you got going on, what I got going on, this is our day. That makes it better because it's an understanding for both parties. And you won't, when it becomes those times where you might not see your mate for a certain amount of days, you'll have in your mind, okay, come Friday, it's me and my man, or me and my wife,
Preach,
or
sister.
whatever.
We
You
really,
look forward to that. You look forward to that.
And that's the small
where
things,
people be
Mom.
feeling like
That's the
they
small
don't have
things.
to do.
That's
Well,
the
see,
small things.
but you know what's funny though, and this is why men, you know what I'm saying, are very, you know what I mean, we gauge what we give to our women. And the reason why I say that is because I've been there before. We've done a thing where we had and this was a issue we had at one point, you know, the quality time, because I was working, you know what I mean, grinding. And let me make this statement real quick too. Depending upon the age range of the relationship is also going to depend upon or determine how much you're going to get that romantic engagement also. When you're in your 30s and 40s, you're still kind of grinding, you know what I mean? So you can be in position to be in your 50s, 60s and be relaxed, and y'all motherfuckers kick your feet up and be on a hammock somewhere, and you know what I mean, that type joint. The kids is growing up, they out the house, y'all traveling, y'all, you know what I mean, all of that. So you sometimes the timing is interesting because 30s, 40s, you want to be grinding so you can have, you know, you can be afforded the time to do the cruises, and the kids, they all grown up now. See, it's a marathon, you know what I mean? But what I'm saying is the reason why guys temper what they give their women is because I was in a situation where we had that concern about the working hard, you know what I mean? And I'm grinding and all that there. And then we had a day. We was like, all right, Tuesdays, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday or something. We was like, we're gonna make it our day. We made Tuesday or Wednesday our day, you know what I mean? But then when I was knocking out some, you know what I mean, just some personal stuff, and we was riding or whatever like that, then that was a problem because we didn't spend that day, you know what I'm saying, like the entire day with us just locked in. So at the time, it was like I would have we would go to Restaurant Depot or something like that, but we was together. So my thing was, you know what I'm saying, you wanted a day for us to spend together, you know what I mean? And I'm thinking, all right, as long as we rocking out, ride or die, we rolling. So we handling some business in the daytime or whatever the case may be, you know, picking up some stuff we had, I think for the bar or something at the time, or it was for the shop, supplies and stuff, whatever, you know what I mean, stuff for the house, whatever. And that was the issue. She was like, well, I don't want to just be spending this day, you know what I mean, if I'm just going to be riding with you while you getting stuff. And, you know what I'm saying, I'm like, you got to be careful because sometimes as women, y'all keep wanting stuff. You know what I mean? Niggas just want to make you happy. And don't nobody want to have to keep on chasing their tail to try to make somebody happy. So you have to, you know, you have to exercise, you know, a little bit of discernment and say, you know what I mean? Yes, I'm going to be, you know what I mean, satisfied to a certain degree. I'm going to appreciate what we already got going on. Or, you know what I'm saying, I'll set up a situation or scenario on my own. So, you know what I mean, this time I'll be blocked out. And, you know what I'm saying, this is how I want us to spend our time. But at the end of the day, we want to make our women happy. Don't get me wrong. So if your man is saying, you know, he's exhausted or something like that, most cases he probably is. You know what I mean? Because he's looking at the long term, the marathon of everything, saying, you know what? I want to put this work in. Listen, I'll be remiss in my duty as a husband if I'm not putting in that work now and we still got to grind like this when we're in our 60s and 70s. Like, I'm not going to be proud of that. So if you have to sacrifice getting a candle lit, you know what I mean, and for me to make sure we're in better position later, because you might not be able to see the later now, so we can be in better position later, then I'm willing to sacrifice that because like that's just how it can be. And at the same time, I respect how my wife feels and I understand. And she was right. A lot of times she did need more time, but it's a crazy balance. And like y'all said earlier, the communication, you know what I mean, is key because sometimes it's hard, you know what I mean, for somebody to give that 100% to try to make the future better and still be satisfying, you know what I mean, completely satisfying that side that you want. So maybe you're gonna have to sacrifice some of the fullness of what you want So you can get what you want, but it might not. So it may be a day where y'all rocking out together, but it's some things getting handled, and it's not just a one-on-one candlelit brunch or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, it has to be a compromise on y'all end as well to be able to, like, to subside some of that urge to feel like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you know what I mean? I'm just not getting what I want, or, you know what I mean? Where's the little things and all of that? Like,
but see, I just feel like that's just only from a man's perspective, because y'all don't want nothing half-assed. You know what I mean? If we telling you, oh, we tired, can you get the kids? Can you, do XYZ? Can you clean up? Can you cook? What it's like, it's a problem. It's in, y'all, in your minds, that's a woman's thing, but it's not. So it's like, men want women to be a very understanding when it comes to simple things as spending time with them. And y'all definition of spending time is different from women's definition of spending time. But if y'all were getting something half, it would be a problem. You know what I'm saying? So that's where the compromise doesn't come in at on a lot of different things when it comes to relationships and marriages and things like that, because, people don't, I feel like men with certain situations don't want to compromise or feel like they need to compromise because they are men. And for women, a lot of women have issues with their men with spending time or understanding where they coming from, because even though you're out working and you doing all that, but we're being moms, we cooking, we cleaning, we catering to you. It's a whole lot on our plate too. So if we want to have our spouse undivided attention for one day or whatever the situation is, I don't see the problem with that, because I mean, at the end of the day, yes, we do lay next to each other every single night, but I want that time. I want to be able to spend time with my husband with no interruptions. And there's nothing wrong with that. One day doesn't hurt, to compromise and say, okay, this time is for my wife, because you want the same thing in return. Because when we had babies and things like that, y'all stressed out for 6 weeks. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no compromise with that, because it's a lot of things that men don't understand that we go through as women, just women life shit. And, we have to be so compromising and understanding with men when y'all working hard and y'all grinding, and, we get it. That's just everyday stuff. But y'all feel like what we got going on is everyday stuff too. So, I mean, I just feel like it should be communication and understanding from both parties. Like, I get you work hard, and I get that what you're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish, but it has to be a medium. If your spouse is asking for quality time, don't feel no type of way about it. Don't complain about it. Just give them that. It's nothing wrong with that, because you want the same thing in return. If you tell your wife or your spouse, I want to be intimate every single day. You got some people who not really into all of that. So they like, ugh. All right, for women, they gonna compromise. We gonna roll to the side. We gonna lay over. We gonna do whatever we need to do to cater to men, and that's the biggest problem, because men can be very spoiled at times. Y'all get any and everything under the sun, but when women start asking about stuff, now she complaining. She unappreciative. Girl can't you give her any and everything under the sun? She's still not happy. It's like, come on. Like,
no,
when's overcoming time?
I'm not. First of all, the beauty in this conversation is that, what I mean, it's truly sincere, and it's from, what I'm saying, a male's perspective and a female's perspective and a woman's perspective. We are wired differently. What I mean? Ultimately, we really are. It's like a yin to a yang. So, you perfectly are suited to support me in areas that I'm inefficient at. You know what I mean? And I'm perfectly suited to support you in areas that you're inefficient at. So that's where the trust comes in, at the same time too. Because it's going to be things that you're going to be asking me about or asking from me, and it's not going to really truly connect. So sometimes I'm going to have to trust my wife. I'm going to have to trust my spouse, you know what I mean? Because, at the end of the day, it's like, Like you're wired like that for a purpose. And when we're saying we're working or whatever the case may be, I think the interesting part is I think that the way that we're wired and you know, and this, you know, sometimes, you know, we do this like this male female versus thing, you know what I mean? But it's not really a versus because it's like you comparing apples to oranges, you know what I'm saying? Like we have both separate missions, you know what I mean, that are supposed to be accomplished together. You know what I mean? I'm supposed to be a man and you're supposed to be, you know, a woman with everything that's in you, you know what I mean? And everything that's in me, we supposed to fulfill it. So if I feel that, you know, working is necessary for me, it's interesting. It's already ingrained in my DNA. It's no different than, you know what I mean, a beehive. And when they're born, they have a specific assignment. And when you look at a beehive, everybody has a job to do. The queen bee is holding it down. Everybody's swirling around. And this is something that's connected to their DNA. You know what I mean? It's like their instincts is to go out and to accomplish this mission. So if your husband is saying that, you know what I mean, baby, I really need to put this time in, or whatever the case may be, you know, he has a vision. First of all, it's something that was ingrained in his DNA. And you got a great man if you do have a man, you know what I'm saying, that is committed to his family, you know what I'm saying, and committed to, you know, your children, your offspring, you know. So once it comes to a point where it's not just you he's fulfilling, he has a commitment now to his children as well. And at the end of the day, his children, he can't let you or his family down. He has to be there for safety. He has to be there for security of his family. So if he's saying he needs to work, you know what I mean, in his mind, he has a goal. In his mind, he's already been, you know what I'm saying, instinctually indoctrinated that he has to accomplish some mission. He might not even know it, but he has to accomplish his mission for his family. So you have to trust him. If you don't trust your man, you know what I mean, if you can't at times just say, you know what, you right, babe, then why would you even be married to him? If you don't trust his genius, if you don't trust his instincts, if you don't trust his intellect, if you don't trust his vision, then you should have never got married to him anyway, because he's going to fulfill it. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times your husband has a vision that he has for, you know what I mean, the family. And trust me, that vision is definitely, you know what I mean, y'all riding off into the sunset at the completion of whatever, you know what I mean, struggle he has to go through. So, you know what I mean, it's all sincere. Like, I don't think y'all should take it personal. You know what I mean? Like, oh, he just wants to work. You know what I mean? Because it's not that.
I don't think that it's not. I don't believe that it's not sincere at all. I don't believe that. But what I do know, what reality is, like, people don't understand that y'all still human, and everybody has needs. And a lot of times, because men think the way they think with a lot of situations, and women, that's where they start involving other people. That's where the other people come in at, because nobody wants to listen to nobody and nobody wants to understand one another. So it's like, if you got a person over here saying, spend quality time with me, then you got the other person on the other side talking about, oh, all they do is nag. They nag. They get on my nerves. I'm trying to work. I'm trying to this. I'm trying to that. Now, somebody is going to bring in somebody to cater to that problem that they complaining about. And all because, you know, the two people didn't want to sit down and have a conversation and say, okay, listen, we have to come to some type of compromise. It's just an easy compromise. It's not like it's the end of the world or anything like that. Like, you can still work hard and you can still spend quality time with the person that you are with. It's just about compromising. When you have two people who don't want to compromise, that's where the problems turn toxic and it just turns into a whole different situation. Or you have one person who's willing to compromise, but the other person just don't want to. Like, they just, you know, being stubborn and everything else like that, because they feel like either what they have going on is so much more important, because, you know, they have goals and things like that, and they feel like that person doesn't understand. But they do understand. But at the same time, you know, you still have to have that love and affection and quality time with somebody, just in general. Like, everybody wants to feel like they're loved and everything else like that. You can't avoid that. Everybody working for the rest of their life, like, you won't work and then be lonely. That's men too. Like, I mean, I know everybody might, do whatever they need to do to please their
what I
needs,
find very
but
interesting? I find very interesting that, like, you know what I'm saying, we have people that will say that'll have a husband, I mean, that is working hard for you and his family or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? And of course, it's probably a challenge, to any woman's defense. It's probably a challenge to have to, like you said, have needs that's not met or whatever in terms of quality time or whatever the case may be. When, you're hearing about this goal or you're hearing about this vision and it's not, coming to fruition, so to speak. So, in that meantime, you might feel, neglected, you know what I mean, as a woman, you know what I mean? So, right, that's fine.
It go both ways.
But it's interesting because you can have a partner, you know what I'm saying, a man that's working hard, you know what I mean, or whatever the case may be, for you, for the family, whatever the case may be. Not a lazy nigga, not somebody that's just trying to mooch off you, not none of that. Somebody that's literally breaking his back for his family, whatever the case may be. You doing the same thing. And you can sit up there and cause friction in that relationship, you know what I'm saying, by, saying he's not romantic enough, saying he's not this, saying he's not that, complaining about it, being upset about it. But yet, you know what I'm saying, you got women that will let go of a man that's being a teammate to them, being a partner to them and their family, just to be single and have no quality time, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know what I mean, and still have to work like she used to, do this, that, and the third like she used to. So you don't need quality time. You're just nagging sometimes, because if you needed quality time, when you end up saying, you know what, I'm gonna just be single. You just being single. And guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna get you a glass of wine and you're gonna run yourself a bubble bath and you're gonna sit your behind down and you're gonna look at some TV or something. Why you can't do that when your husband is out there working? Why all of a sudden now it has to be friction, you know what I mean, that's created, because this man is working. He might really just be trying to bust his ass. He might feel like, you know what, my wife deserves more. You know what I mean? I want to give her the time that she needs, that she deserves. It's going to take for me to grind for another 4 years or another 3 years so I can accumulate what we need so we can move and be in a better position. Like, sometimes the communication is key, and you really got to talk to your husband and say, listen, what's our goal? Do that. Actually, go to your husband and say, listen, what is our short-term goal? What's our long-term goal? Because at the end of the day, when you single, you get you a glass of wine, a bubble bath, and you look at the damn TV. So why is it such a big deal when your husband is working and still gonna come and be in that bed with you at night? Like, what? I don't get that. Talk to me.
Yeah, but that's not everybody's relationship though. Everybody's relationship is not like that. Like, between social media and everything else like that, like, that's not what's really going on. And no woman wants to be just sitting at home and being single. They don't just leave somebody because they just rather be single and all the other stuff. They're leaving because they're being mistreated or
but
something along the
sometimes you
lines
leave
of
it
that.
early and you had a good situation. You know how many women is single now? The nigga that they let go of moved on with somebody else, and they sitting back single and feeling some type of way, like, damn, like, I actually might have had a good thing. Yeah, I saw somebody on it was on something, and she basically was like, man, I really regret it. You know what I mean? The decision I made, because I had a guy that really loved me. You know what I'm saying? 100% for me, and she wanted more. She was like, the nigga ain't making enough money. I'm going, you know what I'm saying? Huh?
Real quick.
Go ahead.
Remember, so when do you leave? When is enough is enough? Because if you
in
say
terms of, go ahead.
People leaving prematurely, right?
Uh-huh.
Like, how much and how much you supposed to take before you leave? If you say, go ahead.
Because you said that women like leave
but what are you? But
prematurely
this
when
what
they
I'm
got a
saying.
good man.
But this what I'm saying.
So
what are you taking? You talking about you taking something like you taking abuse. You're taking a nigga that's working hard for your family. If you leave a nigga that's working hard for your family just because you want some quality time at the time, then yes, you leaving premature. You ain't even going through nothing. Especially like you said with your man, you like, damn, you give me $100,000 car, but it's the little things. Nigga, stop. Because I'm telling you, you leave that nigga and you gonna feel some type of way when the next joint pull up in $100,000 joint. You can be like, damn, I probably should have chilled. This nigga really got a vision. He was gonna put us in position, but I was a little impatient. Basically.
That's what we said. We said that early on in the conversation about the whole communication thing. But I think you kind of going. Hold on, I'm sorry. My son is trying to drink out the bottle.
I thought he was turned the clippers on. I'm about to say, okay, yeah.
Oh no, that's Briar.
Oh, all right.
I think that what we're saying is, although we have things going on, just like you have things going on, everybody have things going on. People make time for what they want. Just like how you would, even though you got all these things going on, Mo, but you know tomorrow is your homie birthday. You're gonna make time to go for your homie birthday. So just treat me how you treat them. That's all I be saying. Like, okay, so if you know you're gonna be busy, I ain't saying every week we gotta do something, but at least once a month. You know what I'm saying? Make that time out for me. Show me the appreciation like you showing them, because clearly you appreciate your friendship. Because
you ready for this? You ready for this?
Go ahead. Go. You keep cutting me off, so Sheree, I don't know how you have a conversation with him and you don't even get your shit out. But go ahead, because I ain't even get my shit off, Maul. But go ahead.
Oh, my fault. You got more?
Go ahead.
You asked me a question. I just was gonna answer. You said,
go ahead.
You said, why you don't give us the attention that you give, you know what I'm saying, your homie? You asked the question, but I mean, no, keep going.
Or anything else, not even just your homie, just men in general will make time for things that they want to make time for. But when their spouse is coming to them and saying, you know, I want you to make time for me,
you ready for this?
A problem.
I'm going to answer the question. The reason is because when I go to my homie's birthday party, he's going to appreciate it. He's not going to, you know what I mean? I'm not going to have to do something else. See, what happens is sometimes, like, you know,
you
like
missing the point. We ain't saying
no, because and this is why you cleaned it up. You cleaned it up because you was like, well, it don't got to be every week, maybe once a month. All right, I respect that. But the reality of it is, you know, like I know, it's some females that really, you know what I mean, are unsatisfiable.
I understand.
It's a fine line.
I always, like, I do hair too. So, like, it's 100 women that sit in my chair all day long. So, I always check people like, well, what you do? You know what I'm saying? Like, why he acting like that? And I think that us as women has to take accountability for our actions to why the man is acting like that. Now, I know that might sound like we taking that for him or something like that, but like for my, like I can only go back to me. So like for me, when I was going through whatever I was going through with my husband, right? And he was talking about polygamy. I said, oh, we ain't doing that. Let me get my life together. You know what I'm saying? So I got my life together. You know what I mean? But at that point, I understand why polygamy is acceptable, because if you throw in the trash, baby. If you ain't giving your spouse, I guess, everything, then you know what I'm saying? Like, he misses something, instead of him cheating, he's gonna get another wife. I understand it now. Before I was like, no. But I understand, but that doesn't mean that I want to be in it right at this moment. But I understand it. You know what I mean? So, and going back, I get women do nag. I'm not taking that away from you. I'm not taking that away. Like, women do nag. Like, when is it enough for you? Like me. That's why I had to check myself. Like, oh yeah, he just worked with $100,000 car. Okay. I want da-da-da-da-da. Like, okay, well, Brie, are you being unappreciative? That's why early on in the conversation, I said, I don't want to sound like I'm being ungrateful, but I do want that quality time piece. You know what I mean?
And listen, I agree with you, and I respect the perspective, like how you came at it. It's called accountability. Honestly, on some real stuff, a lot more marriages will get saved if women was honest with other women. You know what I mean? It just kept it a being like, babe, you being unappreciative right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because y'all know it. Like, it don't. What happens is we get into a thing, and I say this at times, and this is one thing I love about women. You know what I mean? But it is a double-edged sword. Women they don't always focus on what the truth is. You focus on whose side you on, whose side I'm picking. If I'm rocking with you, I'm rocking with you. Truth, this, that, and the third, that's one thing that you worry about what's the truth. I'm rocking with this right here. And sometimes y'all form an allegiance where y'all will ride with a female. She could be dead ass wrong, but you riding with her. And so since you sitting up there riding with her, you know what I mean? She's stuck. She's now, you know what I mean, solidifying her in her mind that she's, you know, justifying how she's behaving. And that's when it can really break up. Like a lot more relationships can be in a better place. If that's why we really need some OG women. We got OG guys that really kick some game. My dad.
Listen, Mo, because listen to this.
Go ahead.
I always tell somebody, unless they getting like, even if they getting blacked eye every night, cool. I mean, I ain't gonna, but you can never tell somebody to leave their situation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And let's say somebody is going through something with their significant other. Me as a friend, I don't never say leave your nigga. That's not me, because I wouldn't expect you to say last year, oh, leave your husband. That would have been stupid. So I agree with you. It's definitely some nutty girls in here, but I mean nutty women. But at the end of the day, they be hating, because a real woman, they could be hating on your situation and want you to leave your situation because they're not in a good situation. You know what I mean? So 100%, I agree with that. But if you're around some thorough woman, you know what I mean, and like they tell you when you wrong, like if me, you, and Cherie was like, let's just say we eating prayers and we having like a conversation, I might be like on Cherie's side a little bit, but I'm still gonna like right is right and wrong is wrong. That's just how I run things. But behind closed doors, I'm gonna tell Cherie, my friend, dog, you out of pocket. You out of pocket. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, you out of pocket. Cherie, no, that's just how I am. Like, but I'm gonna rock with you in front of anybody. But I'm gonna tell you when you out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna do it in front of a bunch of people that we don't know and none of that, or whatever the case may be. But if you out of pocket, you out of pocket. And I think a lot of women don't do that because they a little jealous. I mean, it's okay to say other women are jealous of other women or other men. For real, I mean, it goes. They don't have no sex. Don't have nothing to do with
for sure.
Aspect. Jealousy is jealousy.
Yeah.
People are people because they could think that you and Cherie is living a life. You know what I'm saying? But y'all could be over there struggling. But they be saying, "Oh, Ma, you need to leave her. She X, Y, and like putting them little things in here. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh yeah, she is X, Y, and Z. And it's like, oh, Cherie, that nigga a nut. Should leave him. If a girl ever told me that, oh yeah, you really ain't my friend. Cause don't tell me to leave my nigga. He a good nigga. I'm just mad right now. That's what I'm going back home.
The toxic advice.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No, but you know what? I respect all of that. That's and getting back to healthy, long-lasting relationships. I'm glad you hit on that topic because you gotta keep people out your shit, and you gotta know who to tell what. Like, you know what I'm saying? We went through a whole lot, you know what I mean? A whole lot, you know what I mean? And if I'm talking to, you know what I mean, like I go talk to my dad, you know what I mean? And of course he's an OG. He's somebody that's been through marriage. He's, you know what I mean, made mistakes. He's, you know what I'm saying, seen a lot of things and sees a bigger picture. You know what I mean? Everything is not so severe, you know what I mean, to him because he understands, you know what I'm saying, things from a perspective of just, you know, living life. You know, I would get the advice like, listen, son, at the end of the day, you know what I mean?
Their phones are horrible. I'm engaged to a man that is incarcerated, and I found out he is talking to another woman, and he said he's playing her to make some money. I was okay with it at first, but now I'm not. Girl, stop while you ahead. Child, I wouldn't even do. Your dad might be mad that be my dad, Mom. We got the same dad. Oh, they all got disconnected, child. Hold on. I don't know what happened with them. Everybody got all disconnected. Everybody was disconnected. Somebody just said hello, everyone. Hold on, me put Jamal back in. Somebody said hello, everyone. I need advice. I'm engaged to a man that is incarcerated, and I found out he is talking to another woman, and he says he's playing her to make some money. I was okay with it at first, but now I'm not.
What happened? I got cut off.
So somebody in the comments said, "Hello, everyone. I need advice. I'm engaged to a man that is incarcerated, and I found out he is talking to another woman, and he says he's playing her to make some money. I was okay with it at first, but now I'm not."
That ain't your man.
Right?
Yeah.
That ain't your man.
Okay.
Blackie Chad, assalamualaikum.
Walaikum salam. You heard?
He wants to say what you eat.
But that ain't the
I
man,
want you to
sis.
chime in on this.
He gonna say what you eat in the table too.
It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, what you got to
What
say
you
about
gotta
that?
say about that, Chad?
Well, first of all, trust is a big important thing in our relationships, right? So she has to trust. So the goal for her is to ask him to send her a picture of what the girl looked like. Now, if she one of those, no disrespect, voluptuous, mayonnaise persuasion.
Yo, I'm done. I'm done.
If you part of the mayonnaise persuasion, you got to take that as it comes, sis. It ain't coming out your pocket. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
But,
okay.
you know, if she bad, it get lonely at night. You know what I'm saying? The pickings is slim. You know what I mean? So, but that's obviously a testament to what she's doing financially. Maybe it's not her responsibility, or maybe she don't have it financially to put on for him. But who pay? It's so many other questions you got to ask. Who's paying for that phone time? Are you using my phone time for this girl? Or is she putting up? Right. How long did you know her? Where did you meet her? Is she a pen pal? Did she just come up to there on a program and make you some baked ziti? Like what? Like how did we get to this point for you to be okay with it? Because one thing about a nigga incarcerated, listen, niggas be in there making hibachi with the steps. You hear me? They charging phones through whoop, making burritos with plastic. So if a nigga can make it in there, you can't believe nothing the nigga say. Says, how much time do he got? And how many people was at this wedding? How many people was this wedding over the phone? Where's the Wakil? Where's the Wali? How did this happen?
He said they engaged. They ain't even get there yet.
Are you? Is he part of the Nation of Islam? Or is
I mean, but here's the thing too, though, because I was dealing with somebody that was in jail, right? But like, I wasn't like dealing with him, but I was dealing with him, right? And Chad, you don't know my life. You ain't seen my life in probably like 2 years, Chad. You don't know a lot going on. You ain't called checking your sister, but that's another conversation. Chicky Bop, I'm on the live with Sheree.
Oh, she said
hop on the live.
Is a white. She's white.
She white and she works
hop
there?
on the live.
He is Muslim. She said the girl is white and works there, and she
so
said,
yeah, she the plug. She getting him a cell phone, Slim Jims. Like what we talking about? Girl, be quiet and know your role.
Right. I was just about to say everybody got a role with somebody when they in jail. Everybody got a role.
Sergeant Benaby, let him be with Sergeant Benaby.
Right. I'm cracking up. I'm quiet.
I'm definitely getting those conjugals though, but but no, I'm sorry. I ain't listen. Go with your heart, sis. Go with what your heart is telling you.
There you go.
I don't know anybody that would be cool. Yo, my chick, Ma, Cherie, right? She got this nigga uptown. She using him for his money, so just chill. It ain't coming out your pocket. I don't know too many people that would be cool with that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it all depends.
But niggas is different than, but guys are different than girls because niggas definitely can't stand what they do. You know what I mean? So, guys can't stand what they do. So we can be faithful.
True.
True. I think that's 93% true. Because listen, we can be faithful, never cheated, never nothing, and you and your significant other can be on the break. If he hear you talk to one person even willing to date, it's over for you.
You're done.
You're done. You're done.
Get out of here.
So,
you nasty witch.
It's like, and you could have never been intimate, but it's like you forgave him and he was messing with Becky, Ramira, Rikisha,
It was Brenda, Letitia,
everybody.
Annette, and Alicia.
Right. But you talk to one person or got a dinner out of one person and get done. So niggas can't definitely stand what they do. So like you can't get at example if Sheree talk to a guy from uptown, because guess what? If Ma be like, hey Sheree, this girl gonna get us a hundo with these grant money, Sheree gonna say, oh, all right, babe, for sure. She gonna say, all right, but
No,
let
she
it be the
not.
other way around.
No, she not. No, she ain't.
So the hardest part, she says my heart love him, and I'm not trying to leave him, but I'm not trying to wait all this time when he played me on the outside. How strong was your relationship before he went on the inside? And sometimes I've seen this on Instagram, the hardest thing is what you know and what you feel, the balance of fighting those two. You know what's up, mamas. You know what's up. You know what's up. How much time?
Right.
How much time? And what did he do? You ain't got to tell us, but you could DM me. I want to know what he did and how long he got. That all is encompassing of what you about to do. That nigga got 20 to 40. Sis, look, this is what you gonna do. You gonna use a nigga too for 20 years, and you just might marry him for a little while.
He said marry him for a little while.
Marry him for a little 20 to 40. You know what I'm saying? That's a hard joint because to be honest, I am not a proponent. I don't know if that's the right word. I am not a strong believer in inside and outside relationships if the relationship wasn't sturdy before you went in there.
I don't think that's true though.
What?
I
My
don't
opinion?
think that's true.
Oh.
No, you are entitled to your own opinion because it's your opinion. But I don't think that the relationship had to be strong for you to develop strong feelings for somebody that's incarcerated.
But how can you even validate if anything is real?
Because listen, I don't know, but the illusion of what you feel is real. So if you feel it, like how you just said, what you just say, because you know I be forgetting. You just said something about feeling and something.
What
you just
what
said
you
something.
know versus what you feel.
Exactly. So what you feel is real. Like you can't take away your feeling. What you feeling is real. But when you get out of here, you don't know. So it's definitely a difference. But at the end of the day, you definitely can develop feelings for somebody that you had never been intimate with, that you had never laid eyes on. Well,
I understand that, but
you definitely can.
And you know how hard it is than being in the middle of the
Chad, you know that I'm hard as nails. You know I'm hard as nails. So if I'm saying that it can happen because I experienced it, then I'm telling you it can happen.
No, I'm not saying that it can happen. I'm not negating that fact. But what I'm saying is a relationship is built up of 100%. It's 10 everything. Sexual, bills, love, time, trust, love languages. It's encompassing of so many things. It's contingent on so many things. You are letting somebody play with one spider sense, and that's just being a pen pal. You can't base a relationship off of a pen pal. Now you can build a relationship and have feelings for somebody, but it's really a mirage because that's one facet to a person. You got 90 other percent of a person. The nigga a woman beater, but he can't beat you because he's doing a 5 to 10. And you didn't build up
girlfriend,
all this love.
Your girlfriend, person. Your wife said you ain't answer her text because he on live. Shanita, assalamu alaikum.
All right, I'm about to bring you some Advil. Give me a second.
She ain't got a second, player. Get that Advil now.
But I just don't know. I think that a relationship.
But listen, you said one aspect. Niggas in jail is winning right now, bro. They got money. They send you money. They send you flowers. They pay bills. Nigga in jail is winning.
This is
and niggas
bro. I'm
niggas
telling you that a nigga was carrying it in jail, and the only reason why I didn't probably pick is because of the aspect of the mirage part. It's like when you come home, what's really gonna happen? You know what I'm saying? So, but other than that, Other than that, everything else was there. Everything else was there.
How many times you heard one of your homegirls hold a nigga down? Nigga come home, get
Yeah,
taken
but
out
guess
for
what?
dinner,
I ain't
get a
hold them
whole
down
boot
though.
pack, get a Rockaware sweatsuit with the butter,
This is different,
take the
Chad.
car and be
I
out
ain't
after a
sent
week.
Chad. I ain't sent homeboy $1 ever.
Yo, it's hey Bria, it's 7.8 billion people in the world, and if you divide that by the many
Oh my
women out
God,
there, you
you
gonna
always
realize
trying to
that
get.
you one person that work for. And the consensus, I am
No, my
hungry,
friend right here is
40.
working for her too. So what I'm telling you is, and
Two of
she's
y'all.
sitting right here. She's sitting right here next to me. So what I'm telling you is, these guys in jail, I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, okay. You're
Oh,
not trying to be a
see,
part
and
of the
she just
federal case.
said,
You know what they doing.
she just said, she never seen her folks physically. And guess what? The day, and I witnessed her say, well, you know the day I had to pay my mortgage and I had to da with my car. Guess what? Ding, 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 bells ring. Done.
Okay, now let me say this last thing, because I
Yeah,
know I don't want to take over too much, right? But there is a quote that sometimes all a nigga got is money.
Right.
That's it. And he doing what he can do with what he can do. But when he come home, is he going to do that same thing plus more? And you got
You
to
never
ask yourself,
know. You
what are
just
you
never know.
satisfied with? What do you
You
want?
just never know.
Hey Chad, you made a great point. And I'm glad that you breaking down how these relationships is working in jail. So Chad, earlier we was talking about how, you know what I'm saying, women do get frustrated, which is understandable. I'm not going to negate that, about their husbands that work hard, but they want quality time. They want the little things. You know what I'm saying? We spoke about, you know, she said the husband got a $100,000 car, but at the end of the day, she want the little things. My thing is, you know what I'm saying, again, we got women that's being satisfied from niggas that's in jail. You know what I mean? You can be satisfied with a nigga that's in jail. You can wire your brain, you know what I mean, to accept the fact that, all right, he's not around, I'm not gonna get no quality time, and still be satisfied with the conversation, you know, here or there, and be satisfied, you know, with the cash apps here or there. So why can't we use that same wiring to our brain to fall back and not put so much stress on our husbands if they working to try to make a better way for us later? That's all I'm saying.
a small percentage
I'm
of
just
women
saying
though.
it can be done. Is all I'm saying. You know
Mo,
what I mean?
I
That's all
think
I'm saying.
well, Mo, I'm going to speak on that because I can only speak on stuff that I probably had just a little experience with.
Got you.
I'm gonna say that the guy in jail had a phone. I mean, I hope the feds ain't on here, but the guy had a phone, so it was just like, it wasn't like one conversation a day. It was like all night, like when you first meet somebody, type of on the phone all night type of thing. You get what I'm saying? So it was a little, my situation, the 1% check for your brain was a little different, right? Now, I think for me, I didn't settle for that because once again, I needed more. I need physical intimacy, like a touch, a something. You know what I'm saying? Like a seeing, a laying in the bed, just something. I needed more. So once again, that goes back to what you said. When is women ever satisfied? I don't really think neither person, whether you're a man or woman, is ever going to be satisfied. Men act like they satisfied, but then they get complacent and then they act like, then, oh, that's all she do. It becomes routine. You know what I'm saying? So
You're
I think
less
it kind
likely to
of,
be satisfied.
you said what?
I can speak for men. I mean, I can't speak for men, but I can speak for my opinion. I can say men are more satisfied when they know who they are. When you out here searching for something that you never had or something that you think you want, of course you'll never be satisfied because the goalposts will always change. You tell your girl, life would be better if you clean up more. Now you cleaning up more, and the nigga that ain't enough for him. It would be better if you allow us to have threesomes. You get threesomes now, it still ain't popping. That's when somebody don't know what they is. Now, for me, I'm easily satisfied because I know what I want. The biggest thing on my whole want list is peace. If I could get a piece of chicken, get some peace and some Kool-Aid, I'm good. I understand what I want, and I'm a listener. I hear what my homies say. I hear what people say about getting a car busted out or the girl cheating on. I am satisfied because I know that whether there is something out there better or I'm not willing to go look for it when I'm satisfied with what I got. Mm-hmm. It's a difference between being satisfied and settling. Mm-hmm. I'm settling with my satisfaction. So when a nigga is telling you, I want this, I want that, niggas don't know if they want this or want that. It's like them Prada sneaks they see the homie with, like, I like them Jones. Then they put them on their feet and they realize their feet fat as shit. So when a person know what they want, it's easier for them to be satisfied. A woman, the same thing. But when she start watching Instagram and see all her girlfriends and all of them have it, she want everything she got and then get there and be like, I don't want this. Because you don't know what you want. It takes a long, deep dive dip into a person to figure out what they want to see what they'll be satisfied with. And if you ain't satisfied, you're going to be searching and chasing something that is never what you wanted.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I think that's what, again, you know what I mean? I think, again, that's what, for me, I can speak to that too. Like, peace is definitely high on the list of, you know what I mean, things that I'm satisfied with. Like, you know what I mean, being in a place of peace, us being on the same page, that shit, you know what I mean, feels good. Like, that to me, like, some intimacy for me can be, like you said, a cup of Kool-Aid, some fried chicken, you know what I'm saying, and some peace of mind, you know what I mean? Whether we watching something together or whatever the case may be, you know. But that's what I think, you know what I'm saying, as spouses, and I'm gonna take it off of the male versus female thing, but just as partners, you know what I mean, and as spouses or just in a relationship, like sometimes we have to, you know, find a place of satisfaction with what we already have and really appreciate that. You know, one thing that Chad said last week is, you know what I mean, is the motherfucker that, you know, got beat up in the last relationship that come in a new relationship and just happy she ain't getting smacked or he ain't getting smacked. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So some of those things we overlook. We overlooking the fact that, hey, and in this relationship, it ain't no abuse. Or in this relationship, you know what I mean, I got somebody that's really rocking out with me or really invested in what we got. Like, those are the things that we have to do. We have to continue to find appreciation within our, you know, situations. You know what I mean? The lack of appreciation, you know what I mean, I think is where problems come in. You know what I mean? Because you can, again, feel unsatisfied, and then, you know, whether you complain about it or whether somebody's seeking something else, just being satisfied with what you have, I think that's the start. That's like the root of, you know what I'm saying, like keeping a good thing going. It's really just appreciating where you at.
But you're not gonna appreciate something if you don't know what you want, like Chad said too. Chad basically was saying that a person that keeps complaining, even if they have all of those things, because they're still looking for something else, is because they don't know what they want. And most people who are in relationships or marriages or whatever the situation is are just don't know what they want. So they're going to
women
find
with
something
dinner
to complain about. They're going to find something.
Women with dinner. What you want? I don't know. What you want? Something good. Let's tacos. Yeah. I don't know. It's never.
Yeah. Right. So if you don't know what you want and within your relationship, just period, you'll never be satisfied with whoever. It don't matter who it is. It's just you. You just that type of person that really don't know what you want. So you can have exactly what you want in front of you, but you're going to always feel like it's not enough. So it's not just about somebody appreciating what they have, because you can appreciate it all you want, but is that what
that's a good point.
I realized this too, and this is touching bases on healthy, long-lasting relationships. I seen this on Instagram a while ago, and I thought it was pretty cool. Ma, if you got put into a room by yourself with 4 walls and no window, and you stay, and it was a mentality that you knew that it was nothing you can do to get out of this room. You're gonna be in this room for the rest of your life. There's nothing you can do to get out of this room. Over time, you got to make the best of what's in your situation, and you got to work on what you got, whether it's keeping it clean, whether it's whatever you got in that room. Since you ain't going nowhere, that mentality some people can't agree with because they call it settling. But for me, what makes my thing work with my relationship with my wife is leaving each other is never an option. Sometimes people have too many options and they don't want to work on something minor or minute because it's so many more options. With me, I never look at it as I'm out. I look at it as we're going to figure this out, or we're going to figure out how to fix this because we're forever. So I think too many people had a mindset of I'm 1 foot in, 1 foot out. As soon as I'm displeasured or displeased with something, I'm out because I got a good job. I got this. I got options, where ultimately sometimes you just got a great car and you about to go spend all this extra money on another car that ain't worth it. So I think my mentality is never like, oh, we arguing, I'm leaving, I'm out, I'm gonna go spend the night out. It's never that. It's I'm gonna go downstairs, get a little break, I'm coming back up, and we're gonna talk about this before the night is out. It ain't never 1 foot in, 1 foot out, because that changes the narrative of what it is. It's like working at McDonald's and you know you got options. You ain't gonna get that job your 100% because I don't have to be here. So I think that's one of the biggest keys for healthy long relationships. But it's a difference. It's a difference between settling and understanding real dynamic issues and on the surface issues and small issues. You know what I mean? If you gotta track your wife's phone because she's always outside and she's a hot girl and I'm pretty sure she's a rock fan, that's the issue that you might gotta leave. You know what I'm saying? But other little things, it's workable things, and sometimes we don't have nothing to compare it to, or we do have too many things to compare it to that causes us to, my mom ain't go through this, so I'm out. But that was your mom dynamic. Your mom stayed with your dad because they wanted you to have a mom and a dad together. That's not your plight.
Let me ask this question, and we had this question earlier. So again, the topic is healthy, long-lasting relationships. But another sub question is it or when is it time to leave a relationship? You know what I mean? So for me, prior to Cherie, I was in a relationship, and it wasn't meeting my needs. You know what I mean? And I left the relationship. You know what I mean? We severed the relationship, however you want to look at it. You know what I mean? And for me, you know what I'm saying, I'm thankful that I did that. You know what I'm saying? I really felt like, because just being and this is where it gets tricky, because for me, being a good dude, you know what I mean, I wanted to make this woman an honest woman, you know what I mean? So I was going to go, the distance and, go through marriage and everything, but it was just something that was just telling me like, this just ain't it for you, you know what I mean? And when I made that decision, for me, you know what I mean, I'm so thankful that I had made that decision. You know what I'm saying? Like, so at what point, you know what I mean? Now you're in a position now, you know your wife, you've had experiences in life. I was a little younger, you know what I mean? I thought when I was younger that this was somebody for me. But as we continue to grow, I realized that this was not somebody for me. You know what I mean? So that's the interesting thing. For me, I think that, you know what I mean, we should always be holding each other accountable to fight for, you know what I mean, what we have. Because I'm not going to stick around, and I don't expect anybody to stick around with me if I'm not, you know what I mean, playing my part within our union, within our team. I'm personally not going to do that, and I don't expect my wife to do that. You know what I mean? If I'm not giving her and our family what we deserve, you know what I mean, and I don't have any intentions of it, you know what I mean, and my commitment's not there, then I don't expect her to be with me, you know what I mean? And I don't deserve her if I'm going to be like that. So for me, it's different. You may have found someone that at this point in your life, you realize that this is the person, but it's interesting because that was one of the better decisions I made in my life by moving on from, you know what I'm saying, a past relationship that I had. And I end up finding the person that is for me, you know what I mean, and my wife. So it's a tricky joint. Ain't nothing perfect. I'm just saying, I wanted to put that out there because that was a part of the conversation. When is it time to go? You know what I mean?
I don't think that it's that difficult. For me, I think if people had better and healthier relationship practices, if they knew their dads and they knew what was going on in their life that caused them to have separation anxiety or to be stressed out or to cringe when somebody yells, or a person who dodges arguments, if you dealt with yourself first before we got into these relationships, what you would do is you would create non-negotiables and negotiables in your relationships. You would tell yourself that before day one. Look, I'm not going to be with nobody that's going to put their hands on me. That's just it. I'm out. You put your hands on me, I'm out, right? You cheat on me, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? You steal from me, I'm out. if you got those 3 classifications in your relationship or your ideologies of how you want your relationship to be and what you won't tolerate, anytime that those things tolerate, that's when you fight.
But Chad, everybody has to grow to that point. I don't think.
No. You shouldn't have to grow. That's my point.
Listen. I don't think that a lot of people had those type of tools as a young age. That's when I said early on. I don't know if you was listen. You have to listen. I think when I said early on, I said.
I'm be checking my man on live.
Because he never listens. He always overtalks. I said if like for me, I'm teaching my kids how to have uncomfortable conversations with me. So if I'm teaching them how to have uncomfortable conversations with me when they get older, you know, they can hopefully take those tools to have uncomfortable conversations with their friends or even with their spouse, because you gotta realize your relationship with your spouse, your relationship with your spouse and your relationship with your friends, sometimes uncomfortable conversations are needed to have both sides. It's just not always with your mate, you know what I mean? Because your friend could be nutty and be doing nut stuff, but for the sake of you not wanting to, I guess, lose a friend or seem like you hating, you don't want to have uncomfortable conversations. You know what I mean? Go ahead, raise your hand, my man.
Well, as I was saying before I was interrupted and interjected, what I was saying is you don't, in my opinion, you shouldn't have to grow to that. That is something that we need to work on as a culture. Like after deaths of your mom and your dad, therapy should be something mandatory. So if we grew up better, you know, a lot of us got to be honest. We grew up, our parents taught us survival. They didn't teach us how to have credit or how to do a lot of the things that we're teaching our kids now. Mm-hmm. So what you're doing now with your kids, Bria, is something that should be done for us and before time. So what I'm saying is, if we knew these things before your daughter, before Chloe turned 18 or whatever, like if they knew what they will tolerate and what they will not tolerate, that's better. It's not, you got to grow to that. You're supposed to have that before you get into a relationship. You're supposed to
but who are teaching those? But who are teaching our youth this? Who are teaching these kids this?
What I'm saying is, I'm the start. I'm the change we want to see. You know what I'm saying?
All right, well, be a change. I never heard you talk about what kind of.
You ain't hear me finish my point either, did you? All right then. All right.
Because everybody, no, I heard your point, and you're going around in circles. So what I'm saying is, if these kids, your daughter, my sons, your sons and your daughter and my daughter and my sons, and Cherie kids and their sons, that's in your head a small part of the population. You know what I'm saying? And whoever's on the live, that's a small part of the population. So what I'm saying is, what are we as a people going to do to help these other to help this younger generation, because they out of pocket.
Right. So what happens is you're planting the seeds with your kids. I'm planting. So my homie, just a short story. My homie, right? We was in college, and I was trying to get him to move in with me. Like we trying to get, go half on rent, and we pay there. But the place had this contract where if one person don't pay, everybody's responsible for the payment. So if I pay and he don't pay, I still got to pay his part. So right. I was trying to get him to sign up. His mom would not let him. His mom paid his rent while he was up at school, and she paid his phone bill. I heard that, and I learned how important that was. So I'm not kicking my kids out at 18. They got to build certain things. So, they can stay here till they 30. As long as they're respectful and they're doing what they're supposed to do, they can be here till they 30, because this is the facts. The facts is this, short. The evolution of parenting is always supposed to get better. You're supposed to take the things that work with your mom and the things that work with your dad and add them to your teaching, and the things that didn't work, you're supposed to eliminate them. So it's supposed to always elevate. My dad never gave me a reason why, and I didn't know why that was important. So when I tell my kids to do something and they ask me why, I explain it to them. Not to say that they ain't supposed to do what I tell them, but they need to learn why they're doing something, because it helps them. My dad said, do it because I told you to, because I said so. Mm-hmm. That's not a healthy way to raise a kid. Mm-hmm. Communication is key, because you will have a kid rebel against all of the things you told them based upon the fact that you just made them do it.
Right.
I hate doing dishes. I won't do a dish in my house because my dad made me do dishes. I won't even be at his house for 6 months. I come in, do all these dishes. I wouldn't even hear. So it's about us changing from ourselves and building with our kids, and then our kids building. That's the only way. We can't change the world, but these small increments, because there is going to be one of your kids' friends that's going to love you more than they love their mom, and they always going to want to be at your house, or a niece, or a cousin, or a person you do their hair. So your job isn't to do it for everybody. Last thing I'm going to say, I'm going to shut up, I promise. Edwin James said this at his Hall of Fame speech. He said the world would be a better place for this one thing.
What?
If everybody did their job.
Okay.
If everybody did their job, the world would be a better place. If the security guard was securing the building, you ain't got to worry about this. If the SEPTA driver was driving and not texting, you ain't got to worry about nobody getting hit by a bus. If everybody did that, if you was a dad and you was supposed to be in your child's life, you signed up to be a dad, you busted.
But everybody might not know what a dad is. That's just like me. I'm 8? I just turned 38.
Damn.
And shut up. I just turned 38. And it took me till I was 36 to realize what a man was.
Wow.
Okay. Honest truth. And me and you had those conversations. And it took it took for me and you to have that conversation, like, well, maybe, Chad, maybe it's me. Like, maybe I don't know what a man is. You know what I mean? And what I do, like, so now with the dynamics of my husband, it's like, oh, you gotta let go. Like, you can't be this alpha female.
But it's hope, because you learned at 38. So now you can teach your daughters to learn at 16 and 13 and 10.
Right.
So that's where it starts. It's not about change. It's about making one incremental move at a time. And it's not about trying to change the whole world, because these niggas is out of pocket. But guess what? There is prison cells and caskets for some of these knuckleheads. And it's unfortunate, but we can't save them all. You can't save them all. But there is some that you can save. You know what I mean? So that's my spill on it.
Well, I say, this is a real good conversation, and like, in terms of some of the points that we hit on in our topics tonight, healthy, long-lasting relationships. One of the things that resonated for me, and it might be something different for everybody that's on here, you know what I mean? But one of the things that resonated for me was when Chad, you mentioned ultimately being content with yourself, you know what I mean? And that's one of the things that I like make reference to before you get into a long-term relationship. And we're talking about long-lasting relationships. You know what I mean? Have you really gotten to know who you are? Have you dealt with your childhood traumas? You know what I mean? Have you lived life? Have you had other experiences? Because like Chad said, hey, I had other experiences. I know what my deal breakers are, or whatever the case may be. Have you lived life? You know what I mean? Have you experienced different things? Because if you're coming into a relationship and neither one of y'all know who you are, that's a problem. You know what I mean? If you don't know yourself, that means your partner don't know who you are. You know what I mean? And you can't build a foundation based off of, you know what I'm saying, not knowing who you in bed with, not knowing, you know what I'm saying, what you get into. So I think doing that self-reflection, I think doing that self-therapy, everybody want to be with somebody so bad. The first person you need to be with is yourself. Like, you really need to dig down and, you know what I'm saying, and explore who you are and better yourself. And I think that what happens is we are magnets. We literally are magnets. So the person you blossom into is the person that you're going to, the person that you're going to attract. So if you're in your lower self and you're out looking for a mate, you're going to attract someone that attracts to someone in their lower self. You know what I mean? But if you're in your higher self, if you know what I mean, have pushed yourself to the limit to, you know what I mean, to better yourself and things of that nature, I think that you're really going to attract to someone that's on their higher self. And some people equate, okay, I got a good job, so I'm at my higher self. I'm talking about, you know, the inner self, your spirit, you know what I mean, your soul. Like, what's that hitting for? You know what I mean? So I think in terms of having a healthy, long-lasting relationship, the first relationship that you need to develop a long-lasting healthiness with is with yourself. You know what I mean? So that's one of the things that I pulled away from this, is getting to know yourself. You know what I mean? What like, how do y'all feel about, like, just any takeaways from this evening's conversation?
Well, since ain't nobody else gonna talk, I'll take this opportunity to bump my thumb. I think accountability, right? But I also understand that, like, it's one thing to drive a car and not know what's wrong with it. But if you know your car needs brakes and you still not getting brakes on your car, it's really your fault. So if you know something from your childhood is affecting you, and you know it's been affecting you, and you continue to deal with people while these things are affecting you, we hear about it more, but you know how many girls have been touched? I got homies that's been touched as kids by family members and things like that. And they know that that's the issue why they are aggressive. Or they know this is why they do this or why they do that. And we do nothing about it. We really putting ourselves in bad situations. And it's our fault. And that's unfair. That's basically like, I got gonorrhea. I know I got gonorrhea. I don't want to do nothing about it. But then I'm going to just go sleep with all of these girls and infect them with what I got. That's nutty. I mean, that's kind of, tragic. But, go take them pills and don't be sexually active for 2 weeks and then go pee in the cup and see if you're good. Everybody gets scared to get diagnosed with something. Like, I know people who have autism, ADHD, but, you still can make the best of your situation when you accept your situation and you move forward. Like, that's the key to everything. You keep running from yourself, and guess what? The boogeyman going to keep coming. You're going to lose good dudes. You're going to look good women, good friends, great opportunities, great lifestyles, great jobs. You're going to lose everything if the same issues keep coming around and your supervisor, like, one thing about Bria, she ain't gonna like me saying this, right? But one thing about Bria, you could be like, Bria, can you just be quiet, please? And she'll be like, all right. But if you be like, Bria, be quiet, that just does something to her. On another level, none of us like to be talked to crazy, but it'll bother her. Like, you ain't getting nowhere with her. What you mean? Like, she not even hearing nothing you saying because of how you say it.
But guess what, Chad? You want to hear something else? You're going to be proud of me. That's what I'm saying. You should probably call to check up on your sister a little more often. I had to change being married because you know how, like let's just say when me and you having a conversation and I be real passionate about what I'm saying and, like, my voice elevates. Oh, yeah. My husband hates that. So that puts us in, like, a not safe space for us to have a conversation. Whereas I'm thinking that is cool, but then when he gets hyped, I be, ready to be a pit bull. So I had to learn
that everybody ain't
to not react.
Huh? That everybody not against you.
Exactly.
Because you put them shoulders up and you be like, oh, what you mean? And I'd be like, oh, no, I did not mean it like that. I'm just saying, I'm supporting your opinion. Because them shoulders get all high and she be ready to go.
Yeah.
So I like that. So we got self-reflection for a healthy, long-lasting relationship. We got accountability.
Accountability. I said that, Chad. I said that, Chad. Sorry.
I'm so proud of you.
Accountability. But no, what was that you said? More so like you had to change. So that's like what? Compromise. Right?
Yeah, compromising, but like owning your stuff. So, like, if your mate go cheat, if your nigga go cheat, right? 9 times out of 10, I ain't gonna say you provoke them because that's like, but you wasn't doing something. So, like, you gotta, not saying you gotta give them a pass, but at the end of the day, you need to figure out what you wasn't doing and how you could better yourself. You get what I'm saying? So you gotta take accountability of every action has a reaction. Who are you? I had to learn this. Who are you for somebody not to react to some nutty stuff you do?
I have to disagree with that because my wife is sitting here and she wants me to say something. Because I'm sitting here. I mean, what you saying is you giving everybody a pass.
I ain't giving nobody no pass at all. But I'm not giving nobody a pass at all. What I'm saying is every action has a reaction. But you should take, because we talked about earlier on, Chad, we talked about how when you and your spouse go through something, like, how do you kind of, for me, I said, when y'all go through something, how y'all come to an agreement or a settlement or grow from it, y'all should grow from it. Whether it take y'all a couple of days, a couple of weeks, y'all should still grow from it. It shouldn't be, this the end. You know what I'm saying? So, in saying that, if something happens and you didn't like the reaction that causes y'all to argue or whatever it may be, you gotta sit back and see, well, why did he act like that, or why did she act like that? Whether you want to admit it to him or just admit it to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because that self-reflection is really the only thing that's going to make you have a better relationship with yourself. And I always keep referring to like my friends and my family, because all of that trickles down to that too. Because if you are negative and mean to them, they're going to not want to be bothered. So you got to, Bria, well, why are you acting like that? You know what I'm saying? So that's self-reflection, whether you want to admit it to your partner here on live, here or wherever, you always got to do that self-reflection and take the take the accountability of your actions and grow from it.
Yeah, I respect. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Self accountability. You know what I mean? But I like the way how it's funny. You know what is we get women on here, and men that are in relationships, but it's funny because I hear so much wisdom from women that are in relationships that have been there for for some time. It's amazing because that what you just said is just really such a sign of maturity and growth. You know what I mean? I don't have to really know you as a child to know
Right.
that for a woman to come to, the understanding to say, you know what, at the end of the day, I will be responsible even within my relationship, you know what I mean, whether things are right or wrong, to see where I could have done better. That shit is that's growth, you know what I mean? So
Right.
so I do like that, you know what I mean? Blackie Chad, listen, brother. I'm just saying. Listen, the sister, she growing. She growing, brother. You know what I mean? You gotta give respect. You gotta give credit where credit due. That's all I'm saying.
He ain't talked to me in 2 years, so he don't know. He don't know my life over here.
Oh, come on, beloved. You're supposed to check in on sis.
You know, sometimes in life you gotta realize, as I've grown, I realize that everything don't need a reaction. You know what I'm saying? Because to react to something is something, it got a little power over you. And I'm going to just say, I disagree with the 2-year comment, because that is farthest from the truth. I call her way more than she calls me. You know, to be honest, when she was ready to, buck out, I was the one there saying, stay strong, sis.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? This is a man in your life who carrying it. I said, didn't he just get you the BMW truck that you whoop-de-whoop? Yeah. I was ready. You know what I'm saying? I only said that because she said that on live. I wouldn't have said that if she
I ain't say what kind of car I had. I didn't save that.
Oh, had. So you don't got it no more. See, that's what I'm talking about, man.
I got a new car.
See?
Look. But that's.
Well, for everybody that's just joined in, of course, this live is like almost over. So if you didn't get to see it, you can go onto our YouTube channel. That's the Davises and Friends. And we will be back next Wednesday, 8 p.m. with a new topic. I'm not sure what that's going to be at,
tomorrow,
but
the day after that.
I appreciate Chad and Greg coming on here and sharing their standpoints tonight. We're really, really good. Like I said, if anybody missed this, you can click the link in my bio and go to our YouTube with the Davises and Friends. This will be on here along with all of our other episodes. And my lawyer will be contacting
you too, Sheree, because he said that for me to be on you guys' show so much, when y'all doing y'all promotion, I've never had a picture like as a friend on the joint. It's just y'all. I don't like.
We gonna have to put Chad on there. I'm sorry.
Okay, so listen, let me set this straight. If anybody wants to come on as a special guest and you let me know, you will definitely be on the flyer. Okay? Like, I'm always playing whoever you trying to come on, speak your piece, whatever you want to talk about, get there, Chad, all the way. I don't know.
Good professional pictures, because we got some pictures to send to them so they can look. You know what I'm saying? I want to be holding my hand in the picture.
No jail pictures. I love it.
I can definitely have you in there, on the sideline, whatever, don't matter. Tune in every Wednesday with the Davises and Friends. We appreciate you guys so much. And
there you go.
Ray, I appreciate you. Chat.
See you later.
I'll let you, brother.
It's up and it's stuck. Oh.
Yeah.
This man is nuts.